is, you see that little black?
Yeah.
A little bit of heavy metal.
Okay.
Not too. Are we gonna have yours done too?
No, I'm just gonna listen.
That's fine.
Do you mind if I look at your results?
Oh,
I
please.
want to see what it consists of.
Try to learn here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stefan, this is you on this microscope, and the blood's starting to dry as we speak. And Nicole, this is your live blood viewing as well. And one of the first things you notice is there's some white holes, right? So you want to measure the degree and the percentage of white holes compared to red blood. Well, it's not, I mean, it looks red a little bit, right?
I don't see any holes. Oh, the white holes. Okay.
Yeah, you will find holes. Some people are perfect. You can't find white holes in their blood. I found 5 people in the over 100 people I've tested in the last couple days that were perfect.
And what does that mean? They don't have white blood, white holes.
A few things. They're probably exercising very consistently. How consistent are you with exercise?
Every day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And when you exercise, you breathe through your nose and you're
Yeah.
at least 30 minutes to an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of your blood looks real good, but there's some disturbances going on. And the larger the holes, the more the potential tissue breakdown. Tissue's always building up and breaking down. And if it's breaking down faster than it's building up, then we have to handle it with molecular hydrogen, nitric oxide. We have to mobilize the stem cells. We have to ensure the person is doing enough exercise. Have we commented at all on your blood yet so far? Okay, a white blood cell that looks like it's broken, the broken end of it, so it's releasing some of the most powerful digestive enzymes of the body called lysosomes. So that can cause inflammation. Do you know of any inflammation in your body at all at this time? Okay. This is platelets. We all have a little platelets, and then I measure the degree of platelets and look if her red cells are round and uniform. By the way, that looked like another. Now, what is this? You see that white patch right there? Look on your form, it's candida. It's a yeast form, so circle that.
In the blood?
Yes. There's one of 40 different fungal forms, and in Canada they pipetted and they were able to determine the various fungal forms that exist. One of the best interventions is caprylic acid that's in this product to help knock that out. And if you can actually see this white blood cell, it looks like it's trying to engulf some candida right there. And you see the lobes, 1, 2, 3, there's 3 lobes. If you have 5 or more lobes, it's a definitive sign of B12 deficiency. You have 3, so we're not worried. But also there should be only 1 white blood cell for every 500 red blood cells. So far she's got 1 per around 50. There's another one. And that, look in the, yeah. So if you look right here, that is a neutrophil. You see that right there?
Yeah.
And it's very active. That's good. It's moving that way. You see how it's pseudopod? It's looking for viruses and bacteria to clean up the body and the blood. Now,
Here are all those that little one that's moving right there.
okay, so there's Brownian movement hitting structures, so they're little fatty particles that are moving around. And these are platelets, which are part of the clotting mechanism. That's just an air bubble. And you notice how that cell is oval. Is it?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, so we're gonna circle right here where it says oval site. I think we've only seen one so far. Oh, another one, look. Point to it, you see it? No, that's a white blood cell.
On top of those?
Right there.
Oh.
You see that? It looks oval to me,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So there's a degree of the morphology, so there's some misshaped cells, oval shape. Is there fatty particles in the blood? Everyone has a little fatty particles. I note it within the normal range. What have you eaten this morning?
I had like avocado toast with eggs and lox.
Eggs and lox, okay. So it hasn't caused any clumping. The cells have just landed on top of each other. But if they get too high, it'll clump. Now, we have a cholestatic machine that at the office, we put it in a machine. In 5 minutes, we measure the triglycerides, cholesterol, and then we compare that to the visual. Then we can definitively say that is clumping when the triglycerides get over 250. It's too much fat in the blood. So you got to modify your diet, make sure you're getting exercise, reduce your sugar intake, all those things that people need to know, which is why another reason why this is a great tool. Now remember, these are just air bubbles, but what's that right there? What is that, everyone?
White blood cell? It's a white blood cell.
Yes, white blood cell, air bubble, right? Another white cell. So there should, remember, be only one white blood cell for every 500. She's got 1 or 2 per 50, right? So the white cell, your body is either fighting something, or it might be normal for you. When you get cold or sick, do you rarely get sick and so forth, or when you do, you get over it quickly, or when you get sick, it lasts quite a while?
I feel like it lasts like a week. And
Okay.
I usually get sick like around when flu season is. Like I get sick once a year and it's like bad.
Bad, right. And then you said you had your thyroid removed?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, oh wow, so you've got a lot of white cells. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all over the place. All right, so that's elevated right here. See how we just look at the circles? We note what we observe on a scale of ideal, normal, moderate to elevated. Real simple. And then the digital form, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click it off. Now on your dry blood, we're going to compare it to Stefan, and you see that hole right there in the middle,
Yeah,
right?
that big hole.
So healthy blood should look like this, no holes, right? So they got to see through, I think they can. So then we look at each drop. It starts with the big drop. You see where I wrote on the form. And if there's any holes, you're going to put a percentage. Now you see this going on right there, that line? You see that? On the form it says hypercalcemia. You see those line streaks? Also, look at adrenal stress. How does that look compared to the picture? Adrenal stress, you don't see that? And then in the upper left corner, there's something, it says allergies. See all the little holes? And it's kind of concentrated. So you would do an ALA test or KBMO, measure 180 foods and find out what you're compatible with and what's causing reactions. Because the white cells, yours are elevated, so we got to find out what's causing it. And we can figure out which foods that you're compatible with. You eat mostly those, so long as you're within healthy category, and minimize or avoid the things that are causing compatibility and reactions to your white cells, because they're thinking there's a foreign invader and your body's attacking, especially with hypo. You used to be
I used to be
hyperthyroidism.
euthyroid, and now I'm hyper.
Right. Okay, you see the beginning of this on this form. Look, right here. Do you see that? Do you see the beginning of the streaks?
Yeah.
Do you see that or no?
Yeah.
On some people.
Really?
Yes.
I'm sure I knew at some point.
I'm wondering if you do T4, T3, if it would be different.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Stefan's blood. So what do we see? What is that? What is the white patches?
This is the white blood cells.
Yes. No. What's that?
That's white blood cell.
Correct. So look on your form. See the little white patches?
Yeah. Candida?
Yes.
So what does he do for the candida?
Caprylic acid. It's in here. It'll knock it out. What's that? That big blob.
Neutrophil?
Right. So you take a look. Is it a monocyte? Or if you said neutrophil, that has more granulars in it. So I would say it's more of a monocyte.
Monocytes.
Well, let's look at it again. No, that's pretty close, right?
It could be a basophil.
That's what, yeah, to me it kind of looks like a
Basophil, histamine.
Okay,
I am congested in Las Vegas
Ah.
ever since I got here.
got it. And again, what is this?
Candida.
Yeah,
Okay.
I never thought we have Candida in the blood.
say again?
I never thought we have Candida in the blood. I thought our blood is sterile.
We
That's
would
what we learn in school.
we'd be led to believe blood is sterile.
Yeah.
However, as we culture it, it shows up. Probably the Canadian study showed when we pipetted, they were actually fungal forms. So we're seeing more than one white cell per 500, correct?
Yeah.
So your body's fighting something. You have
Yes.
more white blood cells of various types.
Definitely fighting something.
Correct.
I never had my peripheral blood under the microscope, so I'm very curious to see.
It's very
Nobody
cool.
does this test.
No.
I mean,
Right.
I want to have this in my office.
they
It's the
do-
best thing.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So it's 25,000, 5,500, and 8,000. The technologies are different, but I think this is a fine microscope, and that one. I don't. The German make of this one is just a higher quality technology. I don't think you need to go with. It's up to you. Some people want the Ryzen. I gotta.
no, it's cool. And the
Olympus.
screen with the video.
Well,
it's cool.
The 4K camera, it's a little extra for depending on 3 to 500, depending on the size of the monitor. You want 4K though, because this is 4K going in.
Of course, yeah.
So you're going to get a better image. Okay, so we've identified then the amount of fatty particles. Did you eat something heavy today?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it in
Yeah.
your blood.
You can't hide it.
No.
Right.
Because of what?
The little particles dancing around, those are triglycerides.
Yeah, those.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see them down there really well. Okay, and then the morphology. Did we say we saw some oval-shaped cells or not really?
That's the yeast.
Say again?
What is this white thing?
You know what it
That's
is.
the yeast.
Yes, yeast candida.
It's lipids. Okay.
No. Lipids are really tiny.
Like this one?
Yeah, those are free fatty acids and triglycerides.
Okay.
Now, lipids include cholesterol, but cholesterol is dissolved in blood. You won't see it. Look at that cool white blood cell. It's a granular site. You see that? All the granules?
Yes.
That's the lysosomes, the most powerful digestive enzymes in the body. Sometimes I see these broken. Did I mention your white cell was broken? So it's releasing some of the lysosomes and could potentially cause inflammation. Okay? So that's where I said you would need to do an ALA test, identify what's not compatible and what's causing these reactions. Right?
Like, you mean like a food intolerance test or what?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it'd be
I know the lab.
yeah. So either KMBO or ALA test, they're both good. And there's a little pad in there. You put the drops of blood on, and we send it to Boston. And in 2-3 weeks, we get 184 foods measured.
Yeah, that's a very good test.
Your white blood cell count is definitely elevated. The shape of the cells, I think they're pretty round. I haven't seen any oval.
Yeah.
They're like nearly perfect.
Yeah.
So you're taking various supplements,
I
right?
am.
Good.
Many.
Then what you're taking is probably working. This is good. So you're getting what we call the ideal rating, which is rare. Now, we're going to determine the percent of free radical damage. Here's Stefan, but it's a little easier to see comparison of microscope to microscope. Did we finish Nicole, your dry blood percentages? We got to put a percentage. What percentage of free radical damage of the drop? Remember the lady earlier, I think Michelle, we came up with a percentage. Were you here or no? Okay.
That's my blood, that's her blood.
You see these holes right here? Say.
What do you call the whole microscope? It's light field and dark field? What is it? So when they ask, we have a brochure.
It's a
No,
phase
I don't know
contrast
protocol. I know about this.
compound
Yeah,
microscope.
very common in Germany. They do this live blood analysis.
Right, but there's a brochure in there
Yeah.
that explains the microscope.
Are you from Germany?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you?
yeah.
You speak good
German.
English.
Oh, thanks.
Oh wait, look, check this out.
Are you a practitioner in Germany?
Florida.
Nicole,
Yeah,
see
Florida.
these bigger holes?
Yeah, you have lots of white.
Any skin problems? Any arm, leg, breast tissue issues? No. Are you exercising pretty consistently?
Twice a week.
But there's a fair amount of damage. You see that?
Ay, ay, ay.
Damage from where?
All right. So what we have then?
Exercise too much.
I don't think it's enough.
What's that?
You're saying the damage.
Damage from what? What is the damage from? Because you asked about exercise.
it
Is
could-
related
it-
to
it-
exercise?
Well, okay, keep in mind exercise stimulates the lymphatic system tenfold. The difference between walking and running, you understand your white blood cells, your immune system has no heart to pump it. It has to be squeezed by the muscles. So every day you're doing 2 times a week, I think you said. Every day I would get to 3, 4, or 5 because you're stimulating the lymphatic system to clear oxidative stress and toxin byproducts. Toxin byproducts, you get exposed to herbicide, you get exposed to a pesticide, you get exposed to radiation, you get your cell phone, you're screwing yourself up. What doesn't cause damage? And the most severe is a metabolic disorder, which we call cancer. The bigger the holes, the more likely there are. Listen, we all form cancer. The key is our white cells, is our terrain, is our body recovering, are we breathing properly, are we sleeping, we're exercising, avoiding toxins, and giving ourselves to slow the rate of cancer cell development.
So those holes are actually space between the cells, right? Like empty spaces between the cells? Or
No.
What are the holes?
The holes are polymerized protein, which is from tissue breakdown. The actual tissues are breaking down into a gelatinous polymerized protein that forms the holes. The bigger the holes,
Okay.
the more the gelatinous protein that's in the system.
So when you exert or exercise your lymphatic drainage, like if you jump on a trampoline or vibration plate or stuff like that, dry brushing, all that stuff, pushes that gelatinous mass out of the circulation into
yes.
the lymphatic circulation,
Yes.
back to the kidney or whatever.
Yeah, and then excreting at some point. Exactly.
Right?
Let's put Stefan's blood to compare.
How's your blood?
He says pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty healthy.
Yeah, so the less white spots, the better, is what he says.
Right. So
Uh,
Stefan, your blood looks good. That's the smallest drop, but you have a lot of adrenal. So you're releasing more adrenaline than cortisol. So you need to get your body to support through sunlight. You need to get it through adrenal glandular. That's the part where I depart from a plant-based. I'm pro adrenal glandular.
He's had low cortisol in the past.
Yeah. Yeah, you're living off adrenaline. You're an adrenaline like, do you drink coffee to get going?
Yeah.
Did you just finish school?
I use zero coffee.
Yeah, I get sun, but yeah.
Yeah, but your adrenals are burned out. So we got to support that.
Yeah.
And you take
Dad,
these,
have you seen Lyme disease on here?
How long ago?
yes, through the
good
biological
school? Oh,
dentistry
okay.
when you scrape
Okay,
the
so you've been
teeth.
out for a while. Okay.
So this is
No, you won't see
Diagnosis of
spirochetes in
cranberry,
the blood.
grapefruit,
Occasionally you will, but rare.
garlic.
You'll pick it up
ashwagandha.
in the
licorice.
biological dentistry.
There's no animal in here. There's no. What do you mean animal?
There is a glandular, adrenal. If you read far enough, you'll find
from
it.
what? From what? Animal?
New Zealand, BPE
New
free.
Zealand
Yeah.
is a good source of beef and
Right.
lamb. It's very healthy.
Okay, so your first drop, your adrenal stress is pumping it up to 20% on the smallest drop, but the other ones, you have hypercalcemia too.
Oh.
Too much protein.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, I don't understand what you're saying about the protein part.
Because it's acidic.
So
the
drop
body's trying to buffer it.
drop
That's what
the big drop is almost zero free radical damage. So you're ranging between 10 and 20%, and only because the hypercalcemia and some kind of a tissue damage is going on somewhere in the body. So you have to donate an unpaired electron. You understand that the outer sphere of all molecules of life have a paired electron. So when you lose one of the electrons, it's unpaired. So you have to donate a molecular hydrogen molecule. As you drink it, it donates billions of a single molecule that completes the pair, and that's the other way you stop free radical damage.
Molecular hydrogen.
Huge.
Hydrogen?
And secondly, nitric oxide. Were you low in nitric oxide? Or
Always, so I take a supplement. I do. Not bad. So not
yours is one of the better I've seen
Okay, good.
in the top 5.
Wow, that's great.
So we just
Keep it
have a
up.
few things. You know, you're a perfectionist, I hope, about your
Yeah.
body.
Yes.
Then listen to what I'm saying, right? Mine is not perfect. There's times it deviates, and oh yeah, you know, I'm not doing right? And I take care of it. And then I look back every week. For 46 years, I've been able to test thousands of people, including my own. It's the ultimate biofeedback device.
Right.
In real time.
Real
you
time.
know exactly what's going on.
Right.
And red blood cells form every 120 days. Dry blood goes back 15 years.
Wow.
So we'll be detecting early development between you and I of metabolic tissue breakdown, which is cancer. Very early signs of it.
Yeah.
And you can slow its rate or accelerate its rate. I mean, you see it. It's obvious. I had a Miss Whitaker who came into our program. She had 7 large tumors by biopsy and measured by imaging. I put her on the estrogen dominance program, the full scale, everything. She followed everything to a T. Within a year, all 7 tumors completely disappeared, except for one little hot spot where it first started. And so you can't, like Suzanne Summers, I'm cured of cancer. And she's drinking wine, eating chicken, and I'm like, you're not cured. It's going to come back, and it did. And it took her life this last year. You know, you don't, the body's never not watching. You know, you think, oh, I can party, I can do this and that. I wouldn't take that risk,
A
right?
lot of like white cells, it just part of the response.
But the lymph node is enlarged because it's drawing toxins, collecting them in the lymph. Okay, so what do we see?
A lot of things you can do. And there's
A lot of white spots.
A lot.
So Miranda, full disclosure, it's you.
Yes, yes.
We're okay with that. Now look at the picture on your coated forms, and Miranda's is this one right here. So Miranda has what? It looks like classic.
Dude, mine
Don't
would
you
be-
agree?
Adrenal stress.
Adrenal stress, which means she's living off adrenaline because she can't produce enough cortisol. Now, Terry Hertog would tell you take 5 milligrams of hydrocortisone every 4 hours, and you notice her jaw structure. A little bit more, right? Somewhat.
I don't know.
Is mine more than hers, like this?
Tight.
No, it's you know how people have rounded face. Mine's like
Yes.
more like that. They say it's a nice jawline and a model look, but it's cortisol. I don't produce cortisol.
Ah.
Or am I overusing all the cortisol I produce? Is that?
Yeah, well, you get to a place where you have adrenal burnout and you live off adrenaline. You're living off adrenaline. You can produce adrenaline up to the day you die, but your cortisol can be deficient at any time of your life. John F. Kennedy, most famous case.
Yeah.
He had to be given hydrocortisone every day because he couldn't produce enough. Otherwise, when you're under stress, what happens when you're under stress and you exercise? You want to lay down and go to sleep because your body's like, I can't. Once I corrected my cortisol and took adrenal DMG every day, wherever the bottle is. I don't know, is this it? After a year or two, I could go back to high intensity exercise. I wasn't craving sugars and foods. I used to overeat so badly, I would eat 5 plates of food because I couldn't satisfy myself. What does cortisol do? It pushes fatty acids, amino acids, and glucose into the cells. It satisfies you. After 1 plate of food, you're satisfied. Me, I can never be satisfied, insatiable. Rolling Stones, I can't get no satisfaction. My whole life until I learned to solve my cortisol deficiency adrenal burnout. I had it my whole life. I was obese. I weighed over 210 pounds. I would eat meat till I was just oblivious. Like Elvis, he died because of adrenal burnout. He was given drugs, chemicals, and everything. Lived on coffee like the other guy, Michael Jackson. Adrenal burnout. He lived on that high. So dopamine's tied into all of that. Yes?
What happens to your adrenal when you take additional cortisol? And how long do you need to take that for? Because I learned in school that no, you don't take cortisol because you inhibit even more your adrenal.
They're wrong.
And you will just like shut it down and you will never recover.
That's true of prednisone and corticosteroids.
Because they're synthetic?
Yes, 5 milligrams of prednisone is like 50 milligrams of cortisol. Cortisol, you must produce 40 milligrams a day, whether you take it exogenous through tablets or your own production. And outdoor sun is one way to produce more cortisol.
You said prednisone is 40 times stronger than cortisol?
40 to 100 times stronger.
So much stronger than what's in here.
Oh, this will support you to normalize levels.
I see.
Read.
So see, we don't learn that. I mean, in medical doctors, when they see the naturopathic, doctors give adrenal support to their patients. They're like, whoa,
Okay.
these are not doctors. Why do they do that?
Look-
They're totally against it. Totally against it.
Look up Edwin Lee, endocrinologist from Florida. He calls himself a reformed endocrinologist. He personally had adrenal burnout. His wife had adrenal burnout, and he takes adrenal support and hydrocortisone. Now here's an endocrinologist. He makes his living, and also thyroid. He's one of the world experts. And because my wife died when my son was born 30 years ago, she had hyperthyroidism, and then she developed congestive heart failure during childbirth. They induced labor for 4 days, and 10 days later she died from excess fluid in the heart, and no one knew how to manage it. So that caused me to search for 46 years why she died. So I became one of the world hormone experts. I know everything every one of these people know and more. I've written 15 books, my 16th book's coming out on estrogen dominance in a few weeks. So I'm here because I'm passionate, and I know people are in pain and hurting, and I know the solution.
You said Edwin Lee?
Edwin Lee, yep. He wrote a book on how to look great. I think it's on peptides. He and I are peptide experts too. Peptides are tremendous. I'm the first to release oral peptides of this type. We have PT141 for women, arouse passion,
That's a good one.
and you don't get nauseated with injections. And we have a BPC 157 and TB4 peptides.
That's good.
This heals up the damage.
Yeah, I take that one. I take it every day.
Hugely important.
Yeah.
So
A stronger dose.
yours is a percentage
That's a low dose.
of free radical damage, Miranda.
So do you practice functional medicine
Yeah.
in Florida?
Yeah.
But you're from Germany.
Yeah.
Are you
Your
exercising
heritage,
consistently?
Is your family from Romania?
No,
It's the dry.
I need some aloe vera.
The air quality here is bad.
It's so bad, dries you out.
Like, it's a sick building syndrome, right?
Yeah.
That's how
No
you get a
kidding.
sick
That's
building.
how I feel.
Six City.
I used to travel with the personal humidifier. but I didn't bring it this time.
All the smoke.
And I would put
is
it on my
horrible.
nightstand because otherwise I would start coughing.
Yeah.
Terrible. And here's a dry climate.
I'm not made for dry climates.
No.
I need that Florida humidity.
So Miranda, most of your red blood cells look well shaped. Now, just so you know, when they look like this, it's not the red blood cell. It's smudged up against a fingerprint on the slide. So you have to look at where they're separated, and they bounce back to full round shape. Are you taking various type of supplements of sorts, or
Not too many.
not too many? Okay.
I mean, I'm sporadic because I don't like taking pills. I should.
Can you put them in a blender?
Probably could, yeah.
So the closest restroom is
Wow,
right
they
down the
almost
stairs
look
right here.
Rouleau.
Let's go straight down the stairs.
They're clumped together.
Like Rouleau powder.
He gets my blood. Should I go now?
Go now, because
Yeah, he's
Well,
busy.
not those.
Did you eat something heavy?
I had
Today.
a protein drink this morning, like Fairlife drink,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
some coffee.
anyways,
I haven't.
I don't see much triglycerides. Do you?
No,
In her
I
blood?
don't see
It's separated. It's okay. Right. And the white blood cells, I didn't see. I don't even.
I didn't see one.
That's my other concern. I don't see one.
Should I have them? I should have at least one, right?
Well, yeah. When you get sick, do you get sick badly and last for a long
I
time?
never get sick.
Oh, so
I got really sick in 2020 with COVID. That was it. That's the last time I've been sick. I mean, every once in a while I get like a little snuffle.
Not bad.
You know, kind of like,
do you have kids around in the house?
I do. I have 3 kids.
Well, then you might have an amazing immune system. You do have candida. You see the white patches?
Okay, I do.
Nicholas, point to the candida.
Is that going to cause brain
Yeah.
fog?
You see the candida?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
white patches? Yeah. Okay. So healthy red blood cells. A question mark about white blood cells.
Could
But
just
it
be
may-
I need to do another sample, maybe? Or
Huh?
no?
Right.
Is it just because maybe it's just not in that particular sample?
Right. Or having a low white cell count could be normal for you, and the white cells you have may be highly viable and doing their job. Especially reflected on your history. You rarely get sick, and when you do, you get over it, except for when you had COVID.
Maybe.
Is it normal to have candida in your blood?
It's common.
Come.
Okay. Are you familiar with that?
What is that?
Name?
Monica.
It's biological dentistry. So when time permits, I take certain samples from certain people, and then we look.
Those are spirochetes.
That's correct. And it's a subgroup of Lyme's.
Is it from her blood or from her mouth?
Mouth.
Okay.
Who was it that said they had Lyme's? It was a person earlier.
No, that was one of the doctors who was just asking if you could see mine.
Well, I'm showing it right here.
Oh,
Okay, well, he left.
I know.
Oh, that's it?
You can see that in the mouth?
Yes. And the real fast-moving bacteria, those are really toxic.
Yeah.
The bacillus, see that right there? That's spirochete. You all see it?
Oh my God, yeah.
So,
Wait, you said blood?
This is a mouth.
not blood.
Mouth.
The mouth.
I want to test my
The mouth represents the whole body, but you've got to follow my instructions.
Wow.
You either scrape the inside of your teeth until you get enough plaque. It's got to look white plaque with saliva.
Look at those spirochetes.
You-
Crazy.
and then you take the other one and you take the pointy part and you scrape the plaque. It's got to look white plaque in the middle of the slide, then we'll put a cover slip. You follow what I'm saying? Enough
Yeah.
liquidy saliva, but
God.
you've got to get the white plaques. If you guys are using fluoride and all kinds of things that kills everything, you use antibiotics, we're not going to see anything.
All right.
But this will be representative of your whole microbiome.
Wow.
Your gut, your health, your
I
face.
have a lot of plaque. Let me show you.
Well,
Are spirochetes always pathological? Whose mouth is this?
a prior person
okay.
that has a known
Okay.
issues.
So the spirochete is always pathological in the mouth, or is it common? Is it commensal?
Not common.
Is it commensal? Can it be commensal?
From a degree of what specifically?
Hey, well, can the spirochete be a commensal bacteria that lives?
Normally present, yes. Overabundance, not good. White patch,
Oh, candida.
candida fungal form. It's in the camera. Dust. Okay, so what's
Look
the?
at this one.
It's just sticking to the.
Red cell.
It's sticking to the slide. What's that?
White cell.
Yes. You're getting better.
What kind? Do we know what kind?
Yes, it was a monocyte.
Monocyte.
Yeah, so that shows up with viral activity.
I haven't looked at this kind of stuff in 40 years.
Right. It's the best.
But these rice are always good. I don't have a problem.
On fasting, but not in the middle of the day. Brain Fitness by Bob Goldman and Ronald Klatz. The gentleman, were you here when he came earlier and he gave a testimony to what we're doing here? Yeah. He's the founder and says this is the most important technology of everything here.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
he say that, Nicholas? We have it on video.
Yes.
He calls me every week, and whenever I'm here, he has his blood tested privately.
How's he doing? I saw him the other day. He looked kind of.
He's challenged.
Yeah.
He's not following my
Is that the
advice.
monocyte that you're
Here's the one
Yes.
that was filming.
He's my age. We're both 69.
You gotta save
My
him.
favorite number, I'm turning 70 January 5th. Come celebrate with me.
Excellent.
You gotta try to save
ForeverYoungEvent.com. I'm doing a celebration at my house. Everyone's flying into Costa Mesa. Come into Orange County Airport and come hang out. We'll party mad. But my version of party is not drinking.
Yeah.
Other kind of fun.
You drink-
This.
Is that a water
lipid
droplet?
molecule.
Yes.
Lipid, no?
It's just an air bubble.
Air bubble. Okay, yeah.
Discount it.
Yeah.
You know, people will make up things that you're seeing and you're not. Okay, so Monica, what's this, you guys? So there should be how many white cells per red cells?
1 for 400?
One per 4 or 500. So we're seeing 1 or 2 per 100, right? Too many. So either your body's fighting something, but you recently underwent trauma, right? Platelets. They're part of the clotting mechanism. We just stuck our finger. You expect some platelets, but the degree of platelets, if it's too thick, it thickens the blood, and that's from too much oils and fats.
Thing is a platelet?
Yes.
But they're smaller than that, no?
They can be very expansive.
Cluster? No.
Yeah, well,
Cluster of platelets?
yes, yeah.
Because I know they're smaller.
Oh,
than the red
individual platelets are very small, but then they start agglutinating. They start, you
cells. They
know,
stick to each other.
yeah.
Same there.
Okay, so Monica's blood, she has really well-shaped cells. Now these two are just squeezed amongst each other. They're fine. Because look, the rest of them, wouldn't you agree? Except for the teardrops, but that's just an artifact of too much fat sticking to the cell, right? Aren't they pretty much round and uniform? You agree, right? Nearly perfect.
Yeah.
Her blood, based on her meal, that's temporary. That can be corrected. In terms of the shape and morphology, it's excellent. And the white blood cells we said were elevated, right? Not two,
No.
but a couple more than there should be potentially. So I'm going to list it as moderate. It may be within normal limits for her, but I would observe to see why is there extra white cells? Why is it, right? But you have a history recently of things that took place. It makes sense that that's happening. Okay, so healthy red blood cells, a slight increase in white blood cells. There are, did we see Candida?
I did not see Candida.
I don't think I have either. Okay, I don't see Candida.
Put this on YouTube.
Good,
Good
and
stuff.
we'll get you set up with a system, you thinking?
I want to get one, yeah.
Yeah. You can get any of the scopes.
Yeah.
We're here and we get you set up.
All right.
And then you need this.
Yeah, Iron Direct Primary Care.
You need this.
Yes.
Want to grab it?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put on YouTube Iron Direct Primary Care.